out of the same church, out of the same family, literally out of the same womb. My brothers and my sisters, Andre and Sandra Crouch.
Only the saints can rejoice like this. To see people crying and shouting at the same time. I thank the Lord today for his goodness and for his tender mercy, and for having a friend like James Clayton. I was about 14 years old, and I told this at the concert that they had on his behalf at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion a few months ago. I said when I was about 14 or 15 years old, they were having a barbecue at James's house, and his group was there, and they invited me. Myself and Billy Preston, we were there, and I was a little shy, and James told me I had a lot of talent. I didn't know it. But he said, you can play, you can sing, God's going to use you. And I had never written a song or anything. And they were barbecuing out in the back. And all of a sudden, I mean, it was such power there and such creativity there. I looked out the window, out the screen, and I said, Lord, you've given that man great songs. I wish you'd give me a song. I said, that man could write, and he was my idol. Songs like, He's All Right, Just Like He Said He Would, What a Mighty God We Serve, and to name just a few. And when he moved to California, I said, I gotta meet James Cleveland. And he liked me when he met me. And I said, Lord, you gave that man such beautiful songs. I wish I could write a song. And you know, God didn't wait a year later. He didn't wait a month later or 2 years later. But I turned around and went to the piano and wrote, the blood that Jesus shed for me, way back on Calvary. And that blood would never, ever lose its power. And I was talking to James about 4 months ago, and we were planning to come to his house just the week that he passed. But we went over there, Sandra and I, my twin, and he said, Andre, lose that weight. I said, okay. He said, it's not good. And I'm on a diet now. He influenced that. But he was just a good man. He gave and gave and gave. And yesterday when I saw him, I just couldn't take it. I mean, I couldn't stop the tears. It's just, that's my brother. But you know what? He's rejoicing like this, and he is rejoicing. And I'm glad today that we as Christians and born-again people just don't die. They just don't die. But they live. They live, and we're going to meet again. I feel sorry for people that have no hope. What do you do when somebody dies? Just, is that it? But we have a promise that we'll meet again. And if you were to ask him, were there any trials or anything, he might tell you, I've had many tears and sorrow. I've had questions for tomorrow. There have been times when I didn't know right from wrong. But in every situation God gave me the blessed consolation. In all my trials come to only make me strong.